is Yoga with Joyful. This is Joyful. Joyful's the cat. For today's practice, we're going to need a sturdy chair. I have my chair sitting next to me. We'll be using it for balance poses today. If this is your first time joining us for yoga, welcome. As every time, if I invite you to do something that your body doesn't want to do, then please don't do it. Be responsible about yourself. Hi, Joy. You got very excited. Slowly, so it's slow enough that you can tell if something's going to be suitable for you or not. So thank you for joining me. We'll spend the next 45 minutes or so working towards our goal. And our goal today, as every day, is that we get up off our mat feeling better than we did sitting down. Joyful is the epitome of elastic. I'm not very elastic myself, and so I do yoga because it helps me be more comfortable in my body. It allows me to have more freedom of movement and just feel more comfortable in myself. So hopefully you find that too. I'm going to wait just a couple more minutes. We'll start right about 12:15, go for about 45 minutes. And please enjoy yourself. I'm so happy you're with me. Thank you so much for coming. Make sure you're completely comfortable. I'm sitting in easy pose. This is Sukhasana. This may or may not be a comfortable pose for your body, so find some position that is comfortable for your body, even if that means sitting in your chair, that's fine too. So again, we'll just wait a few minutes. Make sure you're completely comfortable. Everything should feel easy. You don't need to push any of this stuff, okay? Yoga Journal is not filming. I'm not showing this video to anybody who doesn't want to see it. No one's in your living room watching you, so make sure that you're doing things that feel right for your body. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. Find a comfortable seated position, whatever that means for you. Close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Allow your seat bones to ground. Shoulder blades hang down from the ears. Breath is easy. Belly is soft. You can allow your hands to rest on your thighs or wherever it's comfortable for you. This is just a beginning, checking in, seeing how you are at the beginning of your practice. Yoga is about exploring. So when you find some place in your body that would like a little bit more freedom, go with that pose with a little curiosity rather than any other emotion, just curiosity. How about that? Open your eyes, interlace your fingers, palms away, arms overhead, slowly stretching from side to side, opening that opposite side rib cage, grounding that opposite hip, just coming slowly, allowing a little bit more room in the rib cage, a little deeper breath. Noticing that one side is different than the other, that's very normal. Really slowly, no urgency. Release your hands, pet the cat. Interlace your hands behind you, shoulder blades together in the back, hands away from your body, gaze is upward. Arching your back, leaning forward maybe. Just really opening the heart center. And release that. Right hand down, left arm up overhead. Stretching that left side of the body, grounding the left hip, opening the left side of the rib cage. Gaze is underneath that left arm. And press up. Grounding the left hand, right arm up and over. Opening the right side of the rib cage, grounding that right seat bone. Gaze is up underneath that right arm. And come back to neutral. Simple twist to the right. So left hand to the right thigh. Right hand out behind you as a kickstand. Stretching the spine tall. This twist originates in the pelvis, comes up through the low back and the rib cage, and completes by the neck. The neck is not included in the twist. So my gaze is directly over my sternum. As soon as you turn your head, there's no more twist to be had in the spine. So you leave your head out of the twist. Right shoulder blade comes towards the midline of the body. Left shoulder blade comes away from the midline of the body. And release slowly. Come back to center. Right hand to the left thigh. Left hand behind you as a kickstand. So neck is not included in the twist. This time the left shoulder blade comes towards the midline of the body. Right shoulder blade comes away from the midline of the body. And release, come back to center. And just close your eyes and notice what is already happening in your body with this practice. And these are just very simple movements. And notice any areas of opening or release. And then open your eyes. And if it's comfortable for you, allow your hands to reach out in front of you. Come to a forward bend. Gaze is forward. So there's a back bend feel to this. So this is a hip opener. I probably don't need to say that. You probably noticed that. And it may be that you don't come forward, and that's fine too. So the action is of pulling the hands towards me to increase the heart opening here. And then press back to neutral. All right, so we're going to begin our balancing here in seated. So close the knees back together, ground your feet, knees stay bent, and you can hang on to your shins if you like or not. And you're going to lean back. Go of the shins. So notice that that's already engaging the core. And then you can lift your feet. Boat pose, Navasana. So in all of the balance poses, the core needs to be engaged. One of the things that makes it a balance pose is that we're no longer in alignment with gravity. So here, so gravity would be straight up and down, and we've got a part behind that straight up and down line and a part in front of that line. So that makes it a balance pose. And then ground your feet, come forward, wrap your hands around your knees, and rest. And come up. So I'm sitting on a little foam pad. If you want to sit on a towel, that might protect your knees, and if you don't, that's fine too. So we're going to come to hands and knees, high, and pet the cat, or have the cat pet me, as the case may be. So come to hands and knees. So I've got my knees on my little foam pad. And we're going to start with a little cat and cow. So for cow, lift the gaze, drop the belly, and the action is of pulling your hands towards you so you feel a little heart opening here. And
Exhale, round the back up, arching the spine, angry cat spine, pushing the hands away from you. Inhale to cow, pulling the hands towards you. Heart is open, belly is dropped. And push away. Cat pose. Hello. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. And come to neutral spine. So we're going to do tiger pose, which is a balancing pose. So the right leg extends out behind you. Find your balance here. And left arm extends out in front so that you can easier pet the cat. And ground back down. Left leg extends, find your balance. Right arm extends, tiger pose. And ground down, first side again. So typically we think of balance poses as being standing poses, and we will do some standing poses that are balance poses. But look, we can do it sitting, and we can do it from hands and knees also. And these are also balance poses that engage the core. And come back to neutral. So we're going to do the same action with a little addition. So right leg extends, left arm extends. And now both arm and leg go out to the side, back to center. And notice that this challenges your balance a little more. Come back to neutral. Left leg extends, right arm extends, and then out and back. One side is always easier, one side is always harder. This side is more challenging for me. When I first tried to do it, I fell over a lot, and now I'm a lot better. Come back to neutral, and then rest back in child's pose. And now we come to standing. So I'm going to move my pad off my mat. And I'm going to bring the chair forward a little bit. And this is a fairly heavy dining room chair. You want a chair that's fairly sturdy. So I'm going to move it up towards the front of my mat. Try not to kill my plants. Okay, that's about where I'm going to want it. So coming to the center of the mat, find Tadasana, mountain pose. So Tadasana is the base standing pose. Weight is even over the four corners of both feet. Arms are engaged, legs are engaged. Gaze is forward and a little down. Shoulder blades down the back. This is a very active pose. Pelvis is tucked a little bit, so your back is in neutral. So far, it's not much of a balance pose. We've been standing since we were, 10 months old. Bring your feet to touching, close together. Find your balance again. So I've narrowed the base of support, and now close your eyes. We have several balance mechanism systems in our body, one of which is vision. So when I take vision away, the other vestibular systems have to engage more. So you have vestibular receptors in all of the major joints of your body, in your inner ear, and your eyes. So here we're just depending on the alignment of the body and the inner ear and the vestibular systems in the large joints of the body. Open your eyes. All right, so I'm going to challenge your balance again, and this time we're going to close the eyes and turn the head from side to side. Fairly slowly, okay? I don't want you to tip over, but this makes the systems in the large joints of your body have to work a little harder. So feet are still close together. Close your eyes. Turn your head from side to side. And what this does is it sort of confuses the vestibular system in your inner ear. And I don't want to confuse it so much that you tip over. And if that feels like it's happening, you have a chair, you can open your eyes and certainly stop doing the action. When people have vertigo, that's a disturbance in the inner ear. And one of the ways to come out of vertigo is to activate the other vestibular systems, which is the major joints of the body and also the vision. Come back to neutral, open your eyes, and shake it out a little bit. That's an active pose. We're going to let it be a little less active. And we're going to come to chair pose. So I'm going to be a little bit closer to my actual chairs. And this is Utkatasana, which doesn't really mean chair pose. It means, well, it's called thunderbolt or chair pose. So feet are close together, bending at the hips and the knees, coming down any amount. And for this version, we're going to come with the hands to prayer pose, Namaskarasana. And you come down as low as you wish. I hear you. I know, nobody's petting you. That's a shame. Upper body is as tall as convenient for you. So I keep creeping a little bit lower, and a little bit lower, and a little bit lower, and a little bit lower. Yes? And now I'm going to turn to the side, take my left elbow to my right knee. So I bend down a little bit more. And that increases the balance challenge. And come back to neutral. And then left elbow to the right knee. Gaze follows your hands. And come back to neutral, staying as low as is convenient for you. And then inhale, arms up. I've got an overhead fan that's fairly low, so I'm not going all the way up. And then hands back to neutral. So that's chair pose, Utkatasana. All right, I'm going to step, well, about the same distance from the chair, but my feet a little bit wider. I know, it's terrible. Nobody's paying attention to you. So we're going to do Warrior 3, and we're going to do a variation. Warrior 3, okay, it looks like this, okay? So you look like the capital letter T, but for this current variation, we're just going to come forward with the upper body and keep both feet grounded. And then you can have your hands out like airplane wings, gaze is forward. So here you're out of alignment with gravity, and that makes it a balance pose. It's not a horrible balance pose, but it is a balance pose. Legs are fairly straight, but not locked. Come down as low as you wish. I've got plants over on my right hand, so I'm not going down really low. I love this space because of the light, but it's actually a pretty small space for a practice. And then come back up. Hands are down. Now we're going to do Warrior 3 in a traditional way. So find the grounding on both feet. Weight comes into the left leg, tipping forward,
Right leg extends out behind you, and arms can be out like airplane wings. So now your base of support is much narrower. Warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3. Keep the breath easy. Gaze now is downward. So it's down and a little ahead. Finding your balance. Inhale, come up. Grounding both feet. Shake it out a little bit. And now weight goes into the right leg. Folding forward at the hip hinge, and I'm going to go to the chair. Left leg extends out behind you. And I'm going to use the chair a fair amount for this one. And you know what? If you need the chair, that's what it's for. I'd rather have the chair support you than have you tip over. So for me, grounding through my right leg is a challenge. So I'm going to use the chair because I don't like tipping over. Although Joy likes it because she gets to be a little bit closer. I don't know if you can see, she's in the chair seat. And come back up. Shake it out a little bit. All right, we're going to look at eagle pose. And for eagle pose, you're going to place your arms out to the side and cross them really quickly with the right elbow on top of the left. And as high up on your arm as you can cross, the better it is. So you cross above the elbow would be ideal. And you wrap the palms together. Now, if this action is not accessible to you, here's another option, okay? You can give yourself a hug. Again, right arm on top. And another option is you can have the backs of your hands together. Okay, I'm going to have the fronts of the palms together. So I got my right arm on top. We're going to bend down as if we're into Utkatasana again. Weight goes into the left leg. Right leg crosses. Garudasana. Eagle pose. So your gaze is split by your hands in front of your face. Breath stays easy. Finding your balance. Gaze stays soft. Inhale, come up, release, shake it out. So I'm going to offer another variation because I'd like to have my arms in eagle, but I know that I can't stay grounded on my right leg, so I'm going to keep my left leg on the ground as well. So this time the left arm crosses on top. Other left, Robin. Yeah, left arm on top. Bending down. Grounding into the right leg. Left leg crosses. So here I'm crossing, but I'm keeping both feet grounded. And that's an acceptable variation. I'm still here in eagle pose, right? I'm still getting a balance challenge. That's good. Another option is to have my back on the wall, which is not really an option in this particular room. But this is an option that works fine. Inhale, release, shake it out. Notice that balanced poses are warming to the body. Okay, they're challenging to your system and they remind your body to be really active in a way that maybe it's not all the time. Okay, so we're going to look at dancer pose, Natarajasana. Nataraja is the dancing avatar of Shiva. So for this pose, you're going to ground through the left leg, fold the right leg up, get hold of that ankle, and this might be your pose. And if you like, you can come forward any amount and extend that back leg any amount. Gaze is forward, balance is over the four corners of that left foot. Breath stays easy. Keeping the balance.
really relying on the vestibular system in that whole left leg, right? The ankle, the knee, the hip. They're all helping to create that balance, to stay balanced. And then release, come up, shake it out. All right, so now we're gonna ground on the right leg. And I'm gonna take support from the chair, bending that left leg, grabbing hold, coming forward any amount. That right arm can extend forward, or if, like me, you would like a little bit of help from the chair, that's what the chair is for. It's fine. And release, come up, shake it out. Okay, now we're going to go into some more traditional standing poses. And we're going to look at them as balance poses. So I'm going to move the chair out of the way. I don't need it right now. I know. Remove the cap from the chair. So we're going to come to a wide stance, about 3.5 to 4 feet wide. Pelvis turns towards the side of your mat. It's a fairly long stance. So the front foot points straight forward, the back foot points forward about 30 degrees. And we're going to fold at that front hip hinge. Folding, folding, both legs are straight. Folding, 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 folding. Until that left arm would like to come down to somewhere on that left leg. Not taking support, and certainly not taking support at the knee. And then you can lift that right arm. Trikonasana, triangle pose. And this is a balanced pose because your base is very narrow. And now we're going to lift up. So both arms extend. Bend that front knee, warrior two. We don't normally think of this as a balanced pose, but because you're out of alignment with gravity, it is. And then bending that front elbow, let that elbow rest on the thigh. Right arm comes up overhead, tucking that left side of the pelvis, side angle pose. Parshva Konasana. Really grounding through the feet. So I have my arm on the knee, but I don't take a lot of support from it, because I want the trunk to be doing the majority of this work, right? So my arm isn't taking a lot of weight. And with the strength of the right side body, draw yourself back up to warrior two. Finding your balance. And then reverse warrior. So the right hand goes down to the right thigh, left arm goes up, gaze goes up with that right arm. And I'm being very careful here because the fan is right at fingertip height here. This room was designed as a sunroom for my plants. It was not designed as a yoga room. But I love the light in here. Coming back to warrior two. Straighten that front leg, step your feet together, and shake it out. So now we'll do the other side. So the right leg goes forward, left leg goes back, fairly long stance. Left foot points forward about 35 degrees. Arms come straight out. Pelvis is parallel to the mat. Arms come straight out. Folding at that front hip hinge, hip hinge, hip hinge, until that right arm finds someplace on that leg. And again, I'm not taking support. I'm using it more for balance. How about that? Top arm can be up as much as your shoulder allows. Inhale, come up, arms are up, parallel. Bending that front knee, warrior two. So gaze is at the middle finger of that front arm. folding down, folding that right elbow. Left arm comes up overhead, side angle pose. Parshva Konasana. Inhale, come up. Back to warrior two. And then revolve warrior. So the back arm goes down, right arm goes up. Front knee is still bent. And come back up, warrior two. Straighten that front knee, step your feet together, and wiggle around a little bit. Okay, so that's all the standing balancing poses that we're going to do today for this practice. So now you can get to come back down to your mat. And come onto your back body. Knees are bent. Feet are fairly close to your pelvis. Pull the shoulder blades underneath your body. Palms face down. Make sure your feet are really grounded, shoulders are really grounded. And we're going to press the pelvis up. So weight is on the upper chest, the upper rib cage, the shoulder blades, upper arms, and your feet. And now walk your feet close together. We're not quite done with balance. Lift that right leg up. And we'll let that leg come down. Feet stay fairly close together. Left leg goes up. So take the hands about 6 inches away from the body so your arms give you a little bit more support, because now we're going to make it a little more challenging. That left foot comes down, pelvis stays up, right leg up. Really take support from all of your arm and your shoulders and your left foot, and let that right leg go out to the side a little bit. Pelvis stays up. Right leg comes up. Right leg grounds. Pelvis up again. Left leg up. Out to the side. Notice that your arm gets really involved in this. Just come straight up. And let that foot come down. Pelvis stays up. Grounding through your feet again. And now let the pelvis come down towards the floor, but not all the way. Then press back up. And down. And up. And down, but not all the way. And up. And now ground the pelvis. Bend the knees into your chest. Wrap your hands around your knees. And rock from side to side. And let your feet come down. Take an active rest here. Let your breathing come back to normal. We're still not done with balance. So now pick your feet up, knees stay bent. And then keep that left leg bent and the right leg extends, but not all the way to the floor. As close as you can. Notice that activates your core. Bend that right knee, extend the left leg, not all the way to the floor. And the left leg, extend the right leg. the left leg. Bend both knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your knees. Rock from side to side. Place your hands back on the mat, a little away from your body. Both feet come down to the mat. Feet are close together. Somebody's awake. Somebody has a leaf. I know. Place your left ankle on your right knee. See, we're not quite done with balance. You think you know what's coming. So really ground through your shoulder blades. Press the pelvis up. And let that right knee fall towards the earth as much as it wishes to. It won't wish to go very far. That's okay. And then pelvis comes down, and bend the right leg up so you can wrap both hands somewhere around the right leg and rock from side to side, thread eye of the needle. And then release your hands, let that foot go back down. Hands now are back on the mat, foot is still crossed, and press back up. Letting that left knee fall down as much as it wishes to. It won't go very far, that's okay. And then pelvis comes down, both feet are on the mat. Wiggle your legs around a little bit. Grounding your pelvis, grounding your feet, grounding your shoulder blades, grounding your arms. Right ankle on the left knee. And press the pelvis up. Letting that right knee fall out to the side as much as it wishes to. Won't go very far, that's fine. Pelvis comes down. Draw the whole assembly up. Thread your hands inside that space, wrapping somewhere around the left leg, rocking from side to side if that feels good to you. Release the hands, place your hands on the mat again, grounding through that left foot, lift the pelvis. Letting that right knee fall out to the side as much as it wishes to. And then rest the pelvis back down. Let both feet come to the mat. Wiggle around a little bit. And now hands come away from the body a little bit. And your feet go hit mat width apart. Putting my hands pretty much straight out to the side. Let both knees fall to the right, looking to the left. Inhale the knees up. Exhale, let both knees fall to the left, looking to the right. Yodhasana. Inhale the knees up. Hands come back down towards your body, pulling each shoulder blade underneath your body so your palms face up. I'm going to sit up. You can stretch your legs out and get ready for Shavasana. So close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Allow your body to be fully supported by the mat. Allow your breathing to return to normal. Let your brain rest in the back of the skull. Eyes rest in the bottom of the socket. Facial features are soft. Breath is easy. Tongue is relaxed. Jaw slightly parted. Throat is open. Back of the neck is long. Feel your shoulder blades rounded on the floor. Arms are heavy. Fingers slightly curled. Feel your ribs moving with your breath on the floor. Feel your sternum rise and fall with the breath. Belly is soft. Low back is long and wide. Allow your organs to rest towards your back body. Pelvis is grounded. Allow the wings of your pelvis to open. Thighs are heavy. Feet are relaxed. Thank your body for allowing you to have a physical practice today. And notice in your Shavasana any areas of openness that you've created as a result of today's practice. Allow yourself to be fully supported on the mat, on the floor, on the earth. Really allow yourself to soften into the mat. Become as liquid as a cat sitting in the sunbeam. Enjoy this relaxation, softening. Appreciate this time that you've set aside for yourself to take care of your body so that the rest of your day can have more ease. Return to the sensation of the breath. Allow the breath to be deep and soft. Now is the time that you don't need to do any balancing. Just allow yourself to soften and let go and release into the mat. You've taken the time to take care of yourself. And now is the time to enjoy the fruit of this effort by having no effort at all for your Shavasana. Breath is soft. And now begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Bend your knees, place your feet on the mat. Gently roll to your right side and rest there. With the strength of your arms, press yourself up to seated. Bring your hands to heart center. Bow your head to your heart. I honor the place within you of peace, of joy, of light, and of love. I honor the place within you where if you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me,
There can be only one of us. Namaste. Rub your palms together to generate warmth. Place your palms over your closed eyes. Open your eyes into the darkness and return your hands to heart center. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. I'm so glad you came. Really appreciate what you've done for yourself. Drink a lot of water today. Thank you so much for coming. Let me know in the comments how you like this. Thank you so much. May the rest of your day be lovely. And may you have a nice soft cat to play with. Thank you so much.